If you're planning on moving to Houston, plan on not moving to Houston. And what I mean by that is most people that move here to Houston don't actually move to the city of Houston. They're moving to the outskirts of Houston. I would say probably 100%, 99% of the people that I'm working with that are moving here. I've only had one person move to downtown. Everybody else is on the outskirts. And even further into detail on that, everybody else is pretty much on the north side. Of all those people left, which is almost over 30 families now in the last year and a half that I've helped move out here to Houston, 98% of those are on the north side of Houston. So that's what we're gonna be discussing today, is the most popular areas that people are moving to right here on the north side of Houston, which is where I live as well. Plus, on top of that, we're gonna go over the 5 most popular ones that you're gonna hear about the most, but I'm also gonna throw in a 6th one, because the 6th one is kind of a little sleeper town that you're not really gonna hear about if you're just doing a Google search for Houston suburbs. It usually won't pop up, but it is by far the most high demand area that I am seeing people move to up here on this north side of Houston. So stay tuned for that, because I'm gonna get into details on that area and why most people are moving to this one particular suburb on the north side of Houston. But why are people moving here in general, right? The biggest thing, a lot of calls that I get are people from California, like myself. I'm from Los Angeles. I lived down in South Orange County for 8 years with my wife and kids before we moved here to Houston back in 2018. So a lot of people were just like me and my wife. We wanted more space. We wanted a bigger house. We wanted good schools for our kids. We wanted to be in a safe area. That's kind of what you're gonna get right here on this north side of Houston. This is why it's really popular. So I get calls from people from California, New York, Maryland, Connecticut, Florida, Ohio, DC, all over the country, plus China, Vietnam, Taiwan, a few people from Mexico, Canada, all over the place. And they all wanna be right here in Houston, and not just in Houston, but on this north side. So you're gonna see as we go through this, why people want to be here. It's a really cool place and really, really high demand as well. So as we go through this, I'm gonna pull up a map and show you where each individual town is. It's kind of commute to different places, destination areas, so you can get an idea of where you might wanna be if you're considering moving to this north side of Houston, and really help you narrow down your search to maybe 1 or 2 areas, because that's what you wanna do before you come visit out here. Houston is massive, so this is a very widespread area. If you have a city on one side in mind, but a city on the other side of Houston in mind, you can't really get a good idea once you're here and want to see houses in one spot and another spot all in one day. It's going to be too much. You're going to be too rushed. So you really want to try to narrow that down, and you can use my videos to help you with that. I have videos about living in all of these cities that I'm gonna talk about right now. And that's all to help you get an idea and a better understanding of where you could see yourself and your family making the move right here and making Houston your home. So let's go ahead, let's jump on the computer and let's get this thing started. Real quick, if you don't know who I am, my name is Rene Lara. I'm a realtor out here in the Houston area. As I mentioned, I'm from Southern California, born and raised. I moved out here with my wife and our 2 kids back in 2018. And now I have the privilege of helping families and people just like you, who were just like us back then, just trying to figure it out, right? Where do we move? Where's the best schools? Where's this? Where's that? Who knows? We didn't even know anything about Houston when we moved out here. It was kind of just on faith. We made the move, we did it, and we actually love it here too. So all of my contact information is in the description below. If you have any questions about the Houston area, if you have questions you want to run by me, being from Southern California, just kind of the whole culture, what it's like, what the differences are of living here in Houston, I can help you walk through all those thoughts too. So reach out to me, but let's go ahead. We're gonna start on the computer and check out these places. All right, so a quick overview of Houston itself before we jump into these 5 areas, right? So here's a map, as you can see. Here's downtown Houston right here in the center. We are specifically going to be talking about the north side. And one thing that's important that I have to point out, because it's a question I get a lot. So this red dotted area right here, this is Harris County. So as you can see, Houston is basically, when you're talking about Houston, you're talking about Harris County. And this encompasses a huge area, right? And up here on the north side, most of these places we're gonna be talking about are actually in Montgomery County. I'm gonna show you the Montgomery County map also. but you do have some sections. So like the first one we're going to be talking about is the Woodlands. You can see right here, this borderline actually runs right along the center of the Woodlands area. So you're going to have areas that are in Harris County right here in the Woodlands. So if that's important to you, if you know for sure you want to be in either one of these counties, you're going to want to keep that in mind. And whether you're working with me or another realtor, you want to be asking that question if that's important to you. Same thing when we're over here. A couple other areas we're going to be talking about are Porter and New Caney. You can see right here, for the most part, they are on the Montgomery County side, but you have this little dip right here that kind of crosses through Porter a little bit. And this area right here, which is the sleeper town at the end I'm going to tell you about, is Kingwood. And Kingwood, you can see 90% of it is Harris County. A little tiny portion of it is Montgomery County. So keep that in mind. I'm going to show you the details when we get into every single one of these places, but let's go ahead and start in the Woodlands. And these are in no particular order, by the way, but we're going to start in the Woodlands. It's probably not only just the most talked about place right here in Houston, but everyone pretty much across the country knows about the Woodlands. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. So as you can see, basically right here, straight shot north of downtown Houston. And like I said, a big thing to note is you're gonna have Montgomery County on this side of that red dot, and then Harris County on this south side of those red dots. So keep that in mind. The biggest thing about the Woodlands, now it's the Woodlands, you have your own basically downtown area right there, so you don't really need to leave. And that's actually what's so popular about these other areas we're going to be talking about, is their proximity to the Woodlands. The Woodlands is kind of like a destination, beautiful place. Everybody loves it, right? But as I'll show you in a minute, home prices are a little bit higher there in the Woodlands compared to the surrounding areas because it is the Woodlands, right? So a lot of people we're seeing move right here to the Woodlands. For example, I used to work for ExxonMobil before I quit and started doing real estate full time. I was with that company for 15 years. Our headquarters was right here in the Woodlands. So you have a lot of people in the oil industry who live here in the Woodlands. Ton of businesses, a lot of corporations are moving their headquarters right here to the Woodlands. Montgomery County is very business friendly. So we have a lot of people, for example, leaving California, a lot of corporations leaving California, coming here to the Woodlands because Montgomery County is more business friendly, right? So a lot of that right here. And to speak to kind of commutes, like I said, the Woodlands really is its own destination area. So if you live here, you really don't have to commute outside of the Woodlands if you don't want to. If you wanted to get downtown, you know, you're about an hour or so, give or take, with traffic getting into downtown, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. But one of the great things is you have such close proximity to Bush Airport right here. And this is the main airport in Houston, by the way. There's a couple, the other second biggest one is Hobby, which is on the south side. But if you're gonna be living on this north side, the biggest airport is Bush Airport. IAH is what it's called. So you're about 30, 40 minutes to the airport right here from the Woodlands. So not a bad commute at all getting there. And then, like I said, you know, you zoom in here, anything you want. You have the Lake Woodlands right here, Cynthia Woods Pavilion, which is a big concert center. So what I like to compare it to, being from LA, like I said, is the Hollywood Bowl. This is basically our version of the Hollywood Bowl. There's concerts, all kinds of shows, things that happen here. My wife and I enjoy going to the Woodlands. If we're gonna have like a fun night out, most of the time we don't even go to downtown Houston, we go to the Woodlands. So we usually stay right here in this whole little mall, Market Street area, kind of where all the action is. Have a nice dinner, you know, there's bars and restaurants and things, ton of stuff to do. Really, really beautiful place. But you got the mall. They just opened an In-N-Out earlier this year, so every time I'm in the Woodlands, I gotta stop at In-N-Out. But again, anything you want is right here in the Woodlands, and you don't really have to go anywhere else if you don't want to. So let's check out some homes in the Woodlands, right? And the cool thing about the Woodlands, which is kind of gonna be a common theme as we look at all these places in this video, there's really something for everybody. In the Woodlands, like I said, you are a little more high priced because it is the Woodlands, but you can find things as low as in the mid to high 200s all the way into the multiple millions, right? So like I said before, this kind of main part of the Woodlands here is Montgomery County. So if you're looking in this section, you know, going up I-45, coming down this kind of main road, this sort of divides it right here. So down here, you're gonna have Harris County. Up here, you're gonna have Montgomery County. But most people that are moving to the Woodlands really prefer to be, because it's the Woodlands, right? They want to be close to the mall. They want to be close to Market Street, close to the lake. Even if you're back here, you're still only about 10, 15 minutes away from all the action down there. So, you know, as you can see, if we zoom in here, you have the Woodlands Resort, which is beautiful, by the way. If you ever visit here and you want to stay at a really nice place, stay at the Woodlands Resort. If you like to golf, beautiful golf course as well. So you can see, like, you know, here's a house right here. It's 440, 4.2. You know, you have one that's 320 back here, 3.5, 2,400 square foot home. 259, that's probably a condo. Yeah, a townhouse condo at 259. And then you can get, like I said, all the way up into the million. So you know, got 4.2 million. That's actually just for a 1 acre lot. 4 million right here for a 5-bed, 6.5 bathroom, 9,400 square foot home. But even coming up into this area, which is, by the way, you know, I always like to mention this because being from LA, when we would look at homes, we had homes in LA and Orange County. It was kind of like when you saw, you know, 1.2, 1.5 million, and then literally just down the road, you see, like right here, you got a million here, and then you have 350. Being from LA, you automatically think like, oh, that must be a bad area. That must be the hood. We don't want to look there, right? But that's what's so cool about these Houston suburbs, is it's not that way. You can be right here at 350 and, you know, let's take a look at this house. It's probably a pretty decent house, and that's a great area. 3-bed, 2.5 bath, you know, nice, well-kept home, nice big yard. Really, really great place right there for 350. So you are right smack dab in basically all the action of the Woodlands. You're 5 minutes from all this stuff, probably less, right here by the lake next to these multi-million-dollar homes for 350. You know, and you can come up here, you can be at 600 if you want, and we'll check out a $600,000 house. So this one, 4-bed, 3-bath. If this thing loads, we'll look at it. There it is. So 600,000, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,000 square feet. You know, nice big pool in the backyard, open concept living, dining area, nice big kitchen. Kind of cool. Seems like the wallpaper is making a comeback these days. My wife had me wallpaper our entire living room, my daughter's bedroom. So it's funny to see all these old things that people hated for so long now making a comeback. But you know, beautiful home there for 600. And then, like I said, you know, all the way, let's go back here. Basically pretty much something for everyone. I have this one saved. This was probably for, yeah, so this, I had clients actually move from Taiwan out here, and we looked at this home. They ended up buying a different house down here in Grogan's Mill. But we looked at this house, and 430,000, beautiful home. You know, it's pretty much been updated, walked in, had a big, nice open concept. You can see up to that 2nd story game room or loft up there. This was actually a very nice home in person too. It was really well kept. Nice big backyard, beautiful trees back there, a lot of shade. That was a great house. And again, 431,000 for something like that right there in the Woodlands. So beautiful, great options here in the Woodlands, which was the first home on our list. And to give you a little bit of statistics about the area. So this is all going to be according to niche.com. So as I mentioned, according to niche.com, the Woodlands is the #1 best city to buy a house in all of America. Overall grade is an A+, population of 115,716, median home value 390,800. Some of the rankings here, as I mentioned, #1 best city to buy a house in America, #2 best city to raise a family in America, and #3 best city to live in America. So #2 on this list, one area that is very popular, I get asked about all the time, is Conroe. So as you can see on this map, here's the Woodlands. Conroe is just north of the Woodlands, and I actually have Montgomery County pulled up now. So this red dot now is Montgomery County because these next 3 places are all in Montgomery County. So you have Conroe. We're also going to talk about Magnolia, and we're going to talk about Montgomery too, but we'll get into Conroe first. And really the main draw to this Conroe area is it actually is really cool. It's an old historic downtown area. They're building Conroe out a lot, but the biggest draw to that area is, as we saw in the Woodlands, things are getting kind of pricey. So if you want a bigger home, you want more space, it's really expensive in the Woodlands now. So a lot of people are choosing this Conroe area, and you can see how vast of an area this is in Montgomery County. Conroe kind of comes down all the way down here to Porter, New Caney area, back up. Obviously you got Lake Conroe. It's a big wide range, so there's something for everyone here. And the biggest thing about it is it's so close to the Woodlands. So you have a lot of new development going on right here off I-45. Over here northwest of the Woodlands, there's a beautiful place called Woodforest, which I have a video on if you want to go check that out. Awesome place right there. And you get much lower prices than the Woodlands, but you're still so close to the Woodlands that you can get down there for shows and dining and entertainment and everything you want to do. So getting into Conroe, like I mentioned, this is an old historic town, so there is its own little downtown area. It's nothing like the Woodlands. It's not a big destination spot, right? But you do have your little kind of mom and pop, more small business vibe right here in Conroe. And then going up this way, let me zoom out a little bit. You know, obviously you got Lake Conroe up here. So if you enjoy lake style living, so I have a lot of family being from California who enjoy being on the lake, right? This is a great option for people that enjoy that type of lifestyle. You take your boat out there. I'm not a big lake person, so I don't know what y'all do when you're out there, but according to Instagram and what I see, a lot of drinking, a lot of partying, and it looks a lot of fun. It's just not something I do. So if that's your life and you love that, Lake Conroe is where you want to be. But beautiful, beautiful place. And what I'm going to do actually is kind of lump these three areas in together, because number 2 is Conroe, and then 3 is kind of this Magnolia, Montgomery area right here. So, or actually that's 3 and 4 is Montgomery and Magnolia, because they're all very, very similar. So the biggest draw to each one of those, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. Number 3 is right here in Magnolia, but Conroe, Magnolia, and Montgomery, they all kind of just intermingle right here. And as you can see, look at all this green space, right? So there's a lot of new development coming into this area. And what's really cool about these areas in particular is, say you want more space, you want acreage, you want kind of a more ranch style, farm style home, you can find that in these areas right now because they're not so developed out like you get when you get closer to town, right? This is all within the last few years that they're really starting to up the ante and kind of put a ton of money into these areas right now and just starting to get built out. So as I mentioned, actually have a client right now from New Jersey who's buying right here in Woodforest. And the funny thing about Woodforest, when you look at it, this actually has a Montgomery address, but you can see it's actually closer to like Conroe, much closer to the Woodlands, this back part of the Woodlands, than it is to Montgomery. So keep that in mind when you're searching on HAR or Redfin or whatever you use to search for homes. You could have a Montgomery address, but really be closer over here to the Conroe area or even closer down here to Magnolia. It just kind of depends on where that particular house is. So keep that in mind when you're shopping around too. So a few statistics about Conroe. According to niche.com, Conroe is the number 3 best place to live in all of Montgomery County. It's got an A- overall niche grade. Population is 87,930. Median home value is 223,300. A few Conroe rankings: it's number 47 most diverse suburbs in Texas, number 83 best suburbs for young professionals in Texas, and number 115 for most diverse places to live in Texas. Speak to Montgomery a little bit. As you can see, it is a small town, right? But it's being developed out. A lot of new construction. One of the things you're gonna find out here, as I mentioned, a lot of acreage homes. So if you want acreage, if you want more land, Montgomery's going to be a great option for you. And then the cool part about Montgomery, which I actually didn't even talk about with Conroe, I need to go back and do that. We'll talk about it right now. You can obviously see you're right here next to Lake Conroe, so you have access to the lake. If you want to do all that fun stuff that I just talked about, you're not far from Conroe, so you can get into downtown Conroe, get to I-45. You know, you're a little bit a ways from the Woodlands, maybe about 45 minutes if you're up past the lake up in this area. You know, like I said, if you're here in Woodforest, you can get from Woodforest to In-N-Out right here in the Woodlands, because I've done that several times, and it only takes about 15-20 minutes. But you're a little bit far from the airport. So if that's something that's important to you and you want to be close to the airport, which was important for my wife and I when we moved here, you know, maybe try to get in here in this Conroe Woodlands area over here. We're going to talk about Porter and New Caney in this video also. So it's a little bit out there, but if that's what you're looking for, it's perfect for you. And then kind of that same thing, number, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4 on this list, is over here in Magnolia. So again, very, very similar concept to this Montgomery area up there. You can see on this map, the green area is pretty much not built out yet, right? So this white is your more residential commercial areas. You'll see a little bit more going on right here in Magnolia. Great golf club right here at High Meadow Ranch. And then again, you're close to the Woodlands. I keep saying I'm gonna be repetitive about the Woodlands because that's really the big draw to all of these areas. And the feel of it, you know, to kind of speak to a little bit more, and I know from experience, is a lot of people coming from California, New York, all these places where they've grown up and lived their entire lives and they felt like sardines just packed in. People don't like that anymore. People want space. So that's really what's driving a lot of these places and the growth on the outskirts of town is people want to feel like they're away from everything. But like these places, Magnolia, Conroe, Montgomery, you're still within driving distance, a comfortable driving distance to the Woodlands, to Conroe, to whatever you want to do. You have all of that stuff around you. It's just not right there where you're living, right? So that was big for us and why we moved to where we moved to. And that's a common theme that I get when y'all call and reach out to me is, hey, I want to feel like I'm out in the outskirts, but I'm really not. And I can drive to the city, I can drive to a nice restaurant, I can do what I want to do, but get back home and feel like I'm safe, secluded, and not right next to my neighbor, right? So really, really great thing about all these areas. So let's check out some houses right here. Again, I kind of lumped Conroe, Magnolia, and Montgomery all together. But coming over here to Conroe, like I said, it is massive. So you can be down here really close to the Woodlands off 242. You can be off 242 back this way for some great value in homes, especially on this east side of I-45 is where you're gonna find, you're gonna get more bang for your buck in the Conroe area. And then up here by the lake. So let's go ahead. One of the really popular areas here in Conroe is down here. So we'll pull up, let's say this home here, it's 4-bed, 3.5 bath, priced at $425, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, just about 2,550 square feet, all new construction. And this little development I didn't mention is in Artavia. So one of the most highly questioned places in Conroe is Artavia. Another one is Grand Central Park. There's a ton of new development going on, but you can see Artavia is awesome. You have this big lake right here, so you can get out on these little paddleboard thingies and go out there. A lot of amenities here, really, really beautiful place. Obviously you can't see this house. It's probably not built yet. It's all new construction. You can check out this floor plan. Again, 4-bed, 3.5 bath, nice big open concept kitchen and family room area. But let's go ahead and get back out here and see if we can find one that actually has some pictures of the home. So let's try, what's this? I really want to see this 300 range one, but of course we can't click on it. Here's one that's 360. Probably not gonna have pictures either. Let's try this one. So this house is $339. So $339,990. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, about 1,600 square feet. See if they have any pictures of the inside. So this looks like, you know, it's just the model home essentially, but nice big open concept living, dining, kitchen area. Really pretty double sink bathroom, nice stand-up shower, big soaking tub. Really pretty house right there in Artavia. And again, it's priced at $340. So you can see, like I said, very similar to the Woodlands, very similar to all these suburbs here in the Houston area, where you can be in the 200s, 300s, or you can be in the millions if you want to, right? We can get up this way, closer to Lake Conroe, for example. We got one right here, it's $429. We got 409, looks like it's a new construction. We'll check that one out. So 409,990, new construction house, 4-bed, 3 full bath, 3-car garage. Again, very beautiful home. So big oversized island right there in the kitchen, nice open to the living room. You got the little dining room area back there as well. Big master, big ensuite. Really, really pretty house here. Soaking tub, stand-up shower. Yeah, so 3-car garage, really beautiful home, priced just under 410, 409,990, and super close to the lake, right? So you can be up here for lake living if you'd like to, kind of around that same price range. But coming over this way, we'll get closer to, like I mentioned, Woodforest. So I keep mentioning Woodforest because it is one of the most popular areas that people ask me about. And what's really cool about it is, as you can see right here, you can be in the millions, 3.7 million right here for this estate. 5-bed, 5 full bath, 2 half baths, sits on 1.4 acres. Beautiful home for 3.795, it looks like, but gorgeous custom home. So that's kind of what Woodforest is known for. There's 2 gated areas where you can build a custom home like this. They have lots all the way from an acre up to 2 acres. You buy the lot, you work with this custom builder, and they build you a custom home like this. So I'm actually working with someone from New York who's looking into buying their lot right now. They want to do 2 acres, build a custom home just like this one on it. And they're coming from New York, so it's kind of, they're going all out. This is the house that they want to spend the rest of their life in and raise their kids. And they're building a beautiful custom home, just like this one that we see here. Not this exact house, but you know what I mean. But you can see what you get, right? So huge lot right at the end of this cul-de-sac. You got the golf course right here off of there as well. Just gorgeous, gorgeous house right there at 3.7. But again, main point is you can be right here in that gated community. You can be over here for 439, 4-bed, 3 bath. I actually have some clients that are moving up to this area right here of Woodforest. And as you can see, you can be here at 280, 2-bed, 2 bath, 409. Here is, let's check out this one at 409. This one's actually really a beautiful home. I actually have a video on my channel of this specific house. Just went under contract, so 410,000. Check this one out real quick. Nice natural wood look, cabinets here, big open concept, big windows, nice master. I like what they did on this one. They did a lot of black hardware, which is coming back in style. Big yard, no back neighbors. This one was a beautiful house, and again, priced just under 410, and you're still in that same community as the homes that are $1 million plus, right? So really, really beautiful area right there. So that's kind of Conroe, Montgomery, general vicinity area, different things you can get there. So in Montgomery County, which kind of encompasses Montgomery, Conroe, and Magnolia and the Woodlands, just an overall niche.com score right here. You have the number 12 best county to live in Texas. Population is 607,999. Median home value, 257,700. Number 3 best county for outdoor activities in Texas. Number 9 best counties for families in Texas. And number 12 best counties to live in Texas overall. All right, so number 5 on this list, I'm actually gonna lump these 2 together because they really are synonymous with each other, which is Porter and New Caney. So as you can see right here on this map, you have Porter Heights. Porter basically encompasses this entire area right here. And then you have New Caney, which kind of goes all the way up here to Splendora, over into this area too. And you can see they both pretty much almost butt up here to Conroe and the Woodlands. And again, the same kind of concept. This is the reason why people really love this north, not only just north side of Houston, but this northeast side as well with Porter and New Caney, is because of its convenience to everything. So even more convenient being over here on the Porter New Caney side is the fact that we have Highway 69. I say we because I live over here in Kingwood on this side. Highway 69 is right here, and this highway really doesn't get too much traffic. So I-45 kind of running through Spring, running through all the Woodlands up into Conroe. These areas are all really built out a lot already, so there's a lot of traffic coming in and out of downtown on I-45, but not so much over here yet. Probably in the future it might get to that point, but once you get over here to like Humble, Kingwood, there's not much else up here yet in this Porter, New Caney area. But why it's so popular is because it's being built out right now. So Porter, you have Porter right here, which butts up to Kingwood, which we're going to talk to in detail when we go to number 6, which is Kingwood, by the way, and Porter Heights. So these are actually this Porter Heights area and Highlands, which is just south of this Highway 99 loop right here. This is all brand new. So Highlands just started building out a little bit over a year ago. Same with Porter Heights. So again, like I said, not much going on in these areas right now, but as it gets developed out, it's going to be beautiful. They're building new schools here. Right here at this big intersection of Highway 99 and Highway 69 is the Valley Ranch Town Center. So there's Target, there's Ulta, all kinds of shops, restaurants, entertaining. There's a movie theater. They're building a hospital right here. There's a ton of stuff coming to this area. It's just not all complete yet. That shopping center is complete. Hospital's not. There's more houses, more things coming to this area. So it's really on the up and up, but we're at the beginning of that. So one thing it reminds me of being from Southern California, like I said, is 20 years ago, nobody really thought about living in the Inland Empire, right? You have Riverside, Corona, all the way down to like Menifee and Lake Elsinore and all that stuff. 20 years ago, it was like, who wants to live out there? Why would you want to live so far, right? Now, those are all beautiful areas that are all built out. Homes are super expensive. That's kind of what we're seeing here, right? So as Houston itself gets more and more people, more population, everything's growing outwards. So we're at the beginning stages right here in Porter and New Caney. But let's talk to location specifically. Right here, as we said, if you're in Porter Heights, this Highlands area right here, you're 15 minutes to the Woodlands. You're 15-20 minutes to the airport. Same thing up here in New Caney. You can get across 242 here, which by the way, this is all being widened out. So they're really doing everything they can to get people easy access to and from these areas. And as you see, you know, there's Harper's Preserve right here, which is a new development. There's Mavera, which is a new development. There's more right here on the south side of 242 that's not only coming, but already being built. A ton of new construction. This water park is brand new. It's still being built out. So you can get through 242 over here to the Woodlands and Conroe, right? You can come down this way and get to 99 and get over to the Woodlands, get to Spring, straight shot, 15-20 minutes to the airport. Really, really great location right here in Porter and New Caney. So some quick statistics about the Porter area. So overall grade according to niche.com is a B+, population of 36,802 people, median home value 222,200. Few other rankings, number 311 out of 1,020 best zip codes for families in Texas, number 376 out of 1,019 most diverse zip codes in Texas, and number 441 of 1,007 best zip codes to buy a house in Texas. Median household income is about $88,820 right here in Porter. Some statistics on the New Caney area. So overall B grade according to niche.com, population of 29,992, median home value 148,200. Some overall rankings, 304 best zip codes for families in Texas, number 338 best zip codes to buy a house in Texas, and number 360 most diverse zip codes in Texas. Residents' median household income is right around $72,093. Okay, so the bonus place, the sixth and final place that I wanted to show y'all is Kingwood, Texas. So Kingwood, as you can see, is right here on this northeast side, pretty close to Porter, New Caney area. And for reference, as you can see, this is Harris County, which is within this red dot here. A little portion of Kingwood is technically on the Montgomery County side. And then most of it, 90% of it, is over here on the Harris County side. And the reason I point that out in Kingwood, and I live here in Kingwood, so this is kind of my bread and butter area. The Kingwood schools are really highly rated schools, and the ones that are kind of in this back of Kingwood are zoned to Humble ISD, which is in Harris County. So Humble ISD kind of encompasses, obviously, Humble, Atascocita, and Kingwood. So if you're moving to Kingwood specifically for the Kingwood schools, you're gonna wanna be on this Harris County side. But if you're moving to Kingwood and you want to be in Montgomery County, you're gonna be zoned to New Caney ISD, which aren't terrible schools. It's just good to note that if you're moving for that specific reason for the schools, you might wanna be over here on this side of Kingwood. So Kingwood, as you can see, great distance to the airport. So for my wife and I, moving from California was really important to be close to the airport because we knew we were gonna have family flying out to visit. We knew we were gonna be flying back to California often to visit family. So we were prepared for that. We didn't wanna go too far because of that. So Kingwood was great for us, great location. Biggest thing too, kind of similar to Porter, New Caney, Porter Heights, this whole area, you can get into downtown in about 30 minutes from Kingwood, which is great for us. We like to go downtown and hang out. We go to baseball games, Rockets games, we go to shows and all kinds of different stuff, right? Took our daughter to Wicked for her birthday downtown just this past June, and it's easy to get there. As I mentioned, Highway 69 doesn't really get that much traffic. And I say that comparatively speaking, right? I'm from LA, as I said. Houston, if you ever hear somebody from Houston say Houston traffic is so bad and you're from like LA or New York or a different place that has terrible traffic, it's not that bad, trust me. I would take Houston traffic over LA traffic any day of the week. You know, here it's kind of like you'll hit traffic for maybe 15, 20 minutes and then you're good. They don't know in Houston, they don't know that like I would be in traffic literally from Torrance to like Orange County for an hour and a half and it was like 20 miles, right? It's nothing like that. So Highway 69, rarely any traffic for me anyway. I feel like it's a breeze. Close to the airport, 20, 30 minutes over to the Woodlands, just really, really awesome location. And then, you know, you got the lake right here as well. You got Lake Houston back here. And then plus all of the golfing right here. So as you can see, what's funny about Kingwood is you take this footprint here, almost, I would say at least 10% of it is golf courses. There's 5 professional grade golf courses right here in Kingwood. Another thing that it's really known for. Just a beautiful, beautiful place. Some statistics about Kingwood, and this is really one of the main reasons a lot of people end up moving here. So when I get calls and people, we go check out the Woodlands, we check out Conroe, we check out Magnolia and all these places, and then we check out Porter, New Caney, and we come to Kingwood. A lot of people, once they get here and they see it and they feel the vibe of the area, a lot of people end up choosing Kingwood to move to. So the Kingwood area, according to niche.com, #1 best neighborhood to raise a family in Houston. Overall niche grade is an A+. Population, smaller town, right? 36,474 people. Median home value, 227,338. Some of the area rankings, as I mentioned, #1 best neighborhood to raise a family in Houston. #8 best neighborhood to buy a house in Houston. And #10 best neighborhood to live overall in Houston. Residents, median household income is about $94,991. And again, A+ rated schools all throughout Kingwood. All right, so let's check out these houses in Kingwood. One that actually just popped up. I'm actually, right after I finish filming this video, I'm going to look at it for one of y'all that's gonna be buying here in the area. Look at this house, priced at $278,000. You can be right here in this beautiful area for under $300. This is a 4-bed, 2 full bath, 2,000 square foot home. It's pretty much been updated throughout. 1-story home, nice floor plan, flows well, nice updated kitchen, nice little laundry room, somewhat updated bathrooms, not renovated completely, but really, really great home right here. It's got a generator as well, which is awesome. You can see nice little property close to the parks and pools and all the amenities that this city has to offer, or town has to offer. And it's priced at $278, which again, as I mentioned with these other places, there's something for everyone in these areas, right? So you can be in an area like that right here for $278. You can come down further this way. You know, you got $899 right here for this big home, 6 bedroom, 5 bathroom, 6,200 square foot home. This thing is giant. It's probably, in this little area is kind of known for its lot sizes. So I would say this one's probably on an acre or more, maybe a little bit less. Nice big pool, nice little mudroom area. Really great house there. Let's see what this lot size is. 36,000 square foot lot, so about 3/4 of an acre. And then going back this way too, so Kingwood is kind of set up where you have what we call the front of Kingwood, which is right here by Highway 69, and then the back of Kingwood, which is back here in this area. So we have the big Kingwood Town Center right here, which has all the restaurants, dining, anything you could want right here. And then you have houses. This is Sand Creek, Green Tree Village, Kings Point, Kings Mill, all these areas. So you can see back here, you kind of get up into the 400 range here, up into the 5, 6, 7s, 600. Then back down in this area, this is called Kingwood Greens. So you can see here 1 million, 1.2, and these are beautiful homes down here right on the golf course. So this one, 4 or 5 bedroom, 4.5 bath, 5,000 square foot, about 1/4 acre lot on the golf course, completely redone. I love these brick floors. Really pretty, huge island, big master ensuite, soaking tub, huge stand-up shower. Look at this ginormous closet. Nice little butler pantry area over here in the laundry room. I mean, just beautiful place. And as I said, right here on the golf course. Awesome house there for, what is that, 1.25 million. And then you have, this area back here is called Royal Shores. So you're right here pretty much on the lake, 1.1 million. You can be back in the same area in the 600s for a home like this. This actually looks very nice. Let me check this one out. 640, 5 bed, 3 bath, 3,600 square foot home. Again, really pretty, nice big pool. Awesome area. So as you can see in Kingwood, you can be in the 200s, 300s, 400s, all the way up into the multi-millions, right? So something for everybody. And it's all beautiful. If you're over here in the 200s, it's a beautiful area. If you're in the millions, it's a beautiful area. It just depends on what your budget is and the type of lifestyle that you want to live, right? Great area here in Kingwood.